Want to watch this episode? Check it out on my YouTube channel by going to youtube.com/@lanternslive. Welcome to Lanterns Live, the only live stream YouTube channel dedicated solely to the Green Lantern universe. I'm Ralph, and it is GL June, which for me is kind of a big deal because I've been following GL June for I think the last 4 years. I think this is a fourth year. I started this channel a couple of years ago, and I never thought I'd be invited to this, but here we are. For those of you watching who are my normal subscribers and who join me every week here on Lanterns Live, hopefully you went and listened to week 1 of GL June over at the Lantern Cast. They covered issue 1 of Flash and Green Lantern, The Brave and the Bold. That episode came out from them last Friday. I am doing mine today, June 8th, live on YouTube, and will be posting this on June 10th, maybe June 10th, on audio. So for those of you wondering, yes, I'm covering issue 2 of The Brave and the Bold, followed next week by Dan over at Mosaic Comics. Then issue 4, Emerald Echo. Issue 5, Will over at Green Lanterns Podcast, and then Myron and Phil are finishing out with issue 6. So 1 month, 6 issues, and I'm very, very excited to talk about this issue of Green Lantern and Flash, Brave and the Bold. I know it's called Flash and Green Lantern, but this is a Green Lantern podcast, so that's how it's going to go. I'm going to call it Green Lantern and Flash, so you're just going to have to deal with it. One thing I want to say is the reason why I'm doing this on a Monday, because normally I do my episodes on Wednesdays when new books come out. I know that Green Lantern Corps came out on Wednesday of this week, so I decided to do this on Monday so that I could have time to do a show on Wednesday for Green Lantern Corps 17, which is following up the amazing Green Lantern Corps 16. If you haven't read Green Lantern Corps 16, I'd say jump right into that. It's a fantastic book. Morgan Hampton just knocked it out of the park. I'm continually excited about what's going on in Green Lantern Corps, so check that out. The problem is your dude Ralph here, for the first time in 30 years, has decided to go back to school. And so I have classes on Mondays, and I have classes on Wednesdays. So Green Lantern Corps, because of my schedule, because of Vactor's schedule, will be moved to next Tuesday, so in about a week. And then tomorrow, I'll be discussing this book, DC Pride, with author, writer Tim Sheridan, who actually gifted me this book. And so before tomorrow, I will have read this DC Pride book, which has an Alan Scott story written by Tim Sheridan, and there's a whole slew of writers on this thing. It's a 6-issue thing, and I'm going to read this by tomorrow and talk to Tim about that. And I know I tout this as that I only talk about Green Lantern, and we are going to talk about Green Lantern tomorrow, but Tim, who wrote this Eisner-nominated book, also wrote a Masters of the Universe tie-in book that comes out on Wednesday. He sent me an advance copy. I've read it. So if for some reason you're on this channel and you don't want me just talking about Green Lantern, tomorrow's the day, because I'm actually going to be talking about something besides Green Lantern, which is Masters of the Universe. Saw the movie, loved it, and I've read half of Tim's book. And the only reason I stopped reading that Masters of the Universe book is because I wanted to jump on this live stream. So that's all the news. Just letting everybody know that the schedule is going to be a little bit wonky moving forward until the end of July. So I think Tuesday is going to be kind of the new day for shows. unless there's a Wednesday, we can do whatever the next Green Lantern issue is, Green Lantern 36, the Jeremy Adams run, which the last few issues I haven't really cared for. I know over at Lanterns Cast, they're struggling with the most recent issues of Green Lantern, and I am as well. And as you know, I'm a huge fan of Kyle Rayner. I love Kyle Rayner. I've recently been rereading through the 1990 sort of Green Lantern run. I think that's volume 3. Ron Mars, Pat Broderick, Daryl Banks, all of that stuff. So I've been rereading that, and I've been getting into I think I'm in like 2002. I'm on issue 151 of Green Lantern, and I'm filling gaps. I'm trying to fill gaps. So basically, once I'm done with this, I'll catch up to Rebirth, and I think like 30 issues I'll be up in Rebirth territory, which I've read everything since Rebirth on until today, with the exception of Jeffrey Thorne's run, which I only read 3 issues of that. So I think once I'm done with this, I'll read Jeffrey Thorne's run and catch on there. When it comes to Silver Age Green Lantern, I've read up through volume 7 of the Green Lantern Archives. I need to get the Alan Scott Golden Age Green Lantern Archives, so that I can catch up on that. I've read Hard Traveling Heroes, so there's gaps between this, Hard Traveling Heroes, and stuff between Hard Traveling Heroes and like Green Lantern of like the 80s and stuff, where I need to catch up to that Pat Broderick run of 1990. So I'm slowly going through these gaps and filling them in. I started, I'm getting really deep to where I'm like reading one Green Lantern issue a night before I go to bed with the Kyle Rayner run, that 1990s run, which is now I'm in the 2002 area. And I thought when Jeremy Adams was going to go back and get into Kyle Rayner classic stuff, I didn't realize how accurate he was going to be, and I'm not really keen on the Kyle Rayner in Los Angeles stuff. It just hasn't been floating my boat. So when Chad from the Lantern Cast invited me to do Brave and the Bold, I was kind of like, man, I'm going back to like late 90s Green Lantern again, and I wasn't really terribly excited about the book that was chosen, because it's a book I had the trade paperback. I probably still have it floating around in a box somewhere. The Brave and the Bold Green Lantern Flash I had the trade paperback when it came out. I read it. I had like no recollections of this book, but I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to be on GL June. So just like, yes, just I will do it. Absolutely. There were certain spots open. I had a choice between week 1 and week 2, and I was like, I don't want to start this thing off. I'd rather like a trusted, established Green Lantern podcast do it. So I ended up grabbing number 2. Chad was like, do it, do number 1. And I'm like, no, I feel more comfortable doing 2. And then a couple weeks ago, I read number 1, and I'm like, oh, that was pretty good, actually. And then I saw the tease for issue 2, and it said like up next Kid Lantern. And I'm like, what the fuck is a Kid Lantern? I'm like, I don't ever recall a Kid Lantern before. And I'm like, what is this like bullshit that I'm going to end up reading for GL June? And I'm going to be mad at it, and everybody's going to hate me, and everybody in the GL community is going to be like, why'd you invite this guy to come on board? He doesn't, he's like not interested at all in talking about whatever the hell Kid Lantern is. But after I read issue 1, I'm like, oh, okay, so they're doing a throwback to Silver Age. So what's kind of nice is I wasn't really going back to the 90s again like Jeremy Adams' current run, or like I've been doing in my personal life, reading Green Lantern Volume 3. I'm not going back to the 90s again. What's actually happening is I'm going back to like Silver Age. So this book feels very, very Silver Age, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of into it. Because I don't want to go back to the 90s. As much as I love Jeremy Adams, he's the sweetest guy. He's been a guest on the show. I'm just going to flat out say it, that the last couple issues of Green Lantern have been like not great for me. But he's super accurate about making it feel like 1995 Kyle Rayner stories, which for me, again, I don't have a problem with Earth-based stuff. He did Earth-based stuff at the beginning of his run that I really enjoyed. It's just I didn't want to go back to I realized I didn't want to go back to the 90s of him in LA fighting basically weird monster of the week kind of things. So for me, I agree with Lantern Cast and their assessment on the most recent issue of Green Lantern, which I think they're covering this week. But Mark and Chad had a bit of a preview with their discussion during their GL June segment, so I figured I'd bring that up too, my thoughts on that. We'll get through it, guys. There's lulls sometimes. Jeremy Adams is I think a talented writer, and we'll get through that. But for this book, I'm really excited that I read it, and that there wasn't some weird Kid Lantern that I didn't know of. Basically, Hal's going on this dinner with Iris West and Eve Dormus, who I don't think I remember from the Silver Age. She must be somebody. I just don't remember her. This is also taking place kind of around the time where Hal's left Ferris Air and is an insurance claims adjuster. And let me just tell you something about insurance claim adjusters. I'm married to one. Or at least I used to be. My wife is now is a senior underwriter, but she's worked for a insurance company for the last 24 years or something like that. And so listening to Hal talk about insurance and the shit that I hear from my wife like all the time, I felt in the same boat as Wally, where like we're kind of on this weird double date thing with Wally West. And Barry's supposed to be here, but Wally showed up, and Hal's talking about insurance, and I was like, oh boy, it's like watching the Incredibles. The beginning of Incredibles, Mr. Incredible is like in the insurance industry, and his job title was my wife's job title at the time. And so, like, yes, I totally like can feel what Wally's going through, and everybody at the table going through with Hal talking about insurance. So this is this insurance era of Hal Jordan. I don't think I've read this part. Once I'm finished catching up on the 90s run and get to Rebirth, I'm going to go back and start filling the gaps from Hard Traveling Heroes until that 90s run. So I'll get more into the Hal is the insurance thing. And he was like a toy maker at one time too. I know that. So closing up those gaps. And so what was nice was this was a little bit more refreshing of a story than I thought it was going to be, because it does tackle the Silver Age stuff, which I really much enjoy. Silver Age Green Lantern. But then it also has, like, you know, I always enjoyed whenever Flash came around, those Silver Age books, and this feels right up that alley. Let's talk to the folks here before we get into the book a little bit more. Dave's here, and hearing that from a California is a bummer. It's not my favorite. It's just not my favorite. I'm not going to say it's my least favorite. It's just not my favorite. And nothing against Jeremy Adams. I think he's a great writer. He's just doing 90s Kyle Rayner like almost exactly how it was. And I kind of am ready to move forward. I think one of the highlights of my Green Lantern reading was Green Lantern New Guardians, which was a Kyle book. And I was kind of hoping that once we got to Green Lantern 300 and they did this promise of having Kyle sort of step into the main spotlight for the book, I was hoping for more of a New Guardians flavor than an original Kyle flavor from Green Lantern, like 51, back in like 95. Was it 95? It was 94. It was 94. So yeah. So for me, yeah, it's a kind of a bummer. Pat's here. Started reading the 1990 GL run. I've been loving it. How are you collecting that, by the way? I have it all downloaded on Comixology, but then they've since been struck from the record. And I've got all of them. I've got all of the first 50, and those were kind of grandfathered in before stuff went down with Gerard. But the problem is, I didn't buy issue 13, so I can't reread issue 13. So let me know how you're reading those. I haven't checked the DC Universe Unlimited app, which, can I just say, like, DC's not watching this, but dude, like, why is your app button Batman? If it's called the DC Universe, why are you focusing on that character? I know it's the most popular one, but come on, just put in the Justice League or do the DC logo. I don't need just Batman staring at me when I go to the app. Let's see here. At least I used to be. Don't scare us like that, bro. Thought you had a bad personal announcement to make. I don't. I don't know what I forgot what I said. Traveling toy salesman actually is a weird ass job, if you ask me. Yeah, it is weird. Like, I'm interested to get to that part of my reading because, like, were they just trying to make Hal like the complete opposite of Test Pilot? In this issue, Wally was excited to meet Hal because he was a test pilot, and Hal's like, "Oh, I don't do that anymore," which is, insurance is like, yeah. Oh, I used to be married. No, I'm still married. She used to be a claims adjuster. Now she's a senior underwriter. She just walked by and distracted me, by the way. Yeah. My wife and I have been together since 1999, which is when this book came out. So any reading this book and being like, wow, this is really old. My wife and I were around at this time. I think the book actually, the date. Oh, so the cover date, get this, guys. The cover date is November 1999 on this book. My wife and I had our first date on November 13th, 1999. So this book is like as old as our time together. We got married in 2004. So we've been married for, 22 years, but been together for 27. Yeah. DC should remake those band issue, new artist, new writer, fill the gaps. I mean, it's a tough call. I was listening to Lanterncast last week, their GL June #1, and Chad was calling it Pat Broderick's book, which is kind of what I do. Mark was saying, it's, you could say, not Gil Gerard. Why can't I think of his name? I don't say it ever. Gerard Jones. I don't really say his name because, like, he's a gross dude, and what he did is unforgivable. And so I usually don't say that. DC has taken upon themselves to sort of strike the books from the records. We'll never see trade paperbacks of those issues, or reprints, probably ever. And I did a whole member stream on this situation before, and it's tough because, like, they're not his characters. He did write the books. When I was rereading them, I'm like, there's some weird sexual stuff in here that, now knowing what I know, sort of made me feel a little weird. But like, Mark was like, just say it, just say his name, just say Gerard Jones. Like, that's just, it's over with. And for me, he went through the court system. He did his time. I believe he is now a free man. So the thing is, like, should DC just be like, maybe we'll release him? They don't have to do a big parade like, hey, these books are back. But should they make him available? I don't know. You guys could let me know in the comments. Because, like, again, these are all books that I want to read. Again, I have Mosaic on Comixology, but I only have half of them. So I'm not able to finish Mosaic. I'm sure I can go find the monthlies. There may not have been a trade paperback at some point. So for me, it's like, I'd like to read those books. If the guy's done his time according to what basically the victims or the government saw fit, can DC then be like, he did his time, we can make these books available again? Is that a thing that should happen? Me being a selfish guy, I want to reread Green Lantern 13 because I didn't download that. So yeah, it's a tough call. Because for me personally, what he did was like unforgivable. So it's a slippery slope. Let's just say that it's a very slippery slope. But I'm all past that. I think I'm on the. I forget which books. Who's writing the ones I'm reading. But we're dealing with like Ion and Kyle being Ion, and he can be everywhere at once, and it's very, very strange. But it's somewhat enjoyable. I am enjoying getting through it because I can just feel like getting closer and closer to Rebirth, which is like my main goal for rereading the Green Lantern, is just to close the gaps, just to be a completist. So anyway, back to the book, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping all over the place. For those of you listening to this on the podcast stream, like these are how my live streams go. They're very free form. When I don't have a guest on and it's just me, I just enjoy like chatting about whatever hits my brain, and then also chatting with the chat who have questions for me. So basically, what happens is it's this double date with Hal and Barry. For some reason, Wally's there and Barry's not. Barry shows up late just in time to like give him the check, but Barry tells Hal, he's like, "Hey, listen, dude, like I saw something weird, and we should probably check it out after the date." And so they tell the girls or the women. Barry and Hal tell the women, "We're going to go take Wally home, and then we'll come right back to sort of finish our evening with you guys." And on their way back to Wally's place, they drive to this this building that has a perfect hole like blasted out of it that looks like sort of a Green Lantern like made a hole in the thing in the wall. And Hal is like, "Yeah, this is pretty weird, and so let's go investigate." So Barry suits up. This is my favorite part of this issue. Barry suits up and tells Wally to suit up as well. And Wally's like low key like, "Dude, should we be showing this Hal, this insurance dude that we're the Flash?" And then Hal ignites his ring, full Green Lantern outfit, and Wally's just like, "Oh, holy crap, that's amazing." And Hal's like, "This is better than Test Pilot, right?" And Wally's like, "Yeah, this is great." So it's revealed to Wally that Hal is Green Lantern, and they're going on a mission together. all three of them. And it turns out that Mirror Master and Black Hand have gotten together, which is one of the things that I really like about this book, because I do really like this book, and I can't wait to read along with the rest of the Green Lantern podcasters out there, because I really appreciated it, because it's really like a celebration of both Barry Allen and Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, and the Flash. I don't know where they go from here, but I do like that it's not only a team up of Barry and Hal, but it's a team up of Barry's villain and Hal's villain. And it's one of my favorite Earth villains from all of Green Lantern. In fact, it might be my favorite, the Black Hand. So Black Hand and Mirror Master show up. Black Hand might be my favorite Earth villain. Maybe a close second to the Bottler, which I will forever is one of my favorite weirdest Green Lantern villains is the Bottler, who throws bottles with stuff in it. But Black Hand is rad. And every time Black Hand showed up in Silver Age comics, I would always get really excited because of basically I started reading Silver Age after Jeff Johns' run on Blackest Night. Around Blackest Night is when I started picking up and filling in the gaps for Silver Age, because I was getting Blackest Night hardcovers and I wanted the archive edition so bad. And so anytime I'd see an archive edition at a comic book store, I'd pick them up, and I would love the Black Hand issues. A lot of fun with this one, seeing how they work together. Mirror Master sort of like doing his thing by taking mirrored powers from Green Lantern, Black Hand's powers. They're sort of mixing and matching and doing this crazy thing. And while they're doing all of this, Black Hand, and I'm trying to remember this right. I might go to a synopsis just to check this out. Kid Flash gets his power sucked out by Black Hand, because Black Hand can sort of suck the power from Green Lantern, and it's like kind of messed up. And it's one of my, it's a really cool concept where it's like, you know, it could have been yellow, but for some reason Black Hand just basically absorbs light like a black hole and renders Green Lantern useless and pulls in that power. Mirror Master takes that power, recreates it, blasts Kid Flash. Kid Flash gets blasted at some point and basically gets Green Lantern's powers. So he becomes Kid Lantern. So at this point, I'm like, okay, this isn't as stupid as I was anticipating, because there's like a splash page at the beginning, or a single page sort of image, a full page image that sort of shows you what this story's going to be about. They did this in the Silver Age a lot, and I'll show you here. If you look at any Green Lantern book, they'll do this page that has a synopsis of what you're going to be seeing in the issue before you get to the actual issue itself. It's almost like a teaser poster for the story you're about to read. And so when I read that sort of teaser image at the beginning of this, I was like, who the hell is Kid Lantern? This is the dumbest thing I heard. You guys know I'm not a fan of Ellie and Kelly, the kids who are currently in Green Lantern. Like, I don't need Green Lantern kids. I don't need Green Lantern sidekicks. So for me, I opened it up. I'm like, I'm in a world of hurt. I'm going to hate this. But no, it's actually Wally. Wally gets inundated with green energy and basically becomes a Green Lantern for a bit, which is a lot of fun. And through all of this, the three of them are able to, you know, thwart the bad guys. There's a point where the Mirror Master goes to like a hockey arena and creates a bunch of hockey, like makes multiples of the hockey players, and they're all fighting with their sticks, and one of them like takes out Flash. Does he take out Flash? It's nuts. It's chaos. And it sounds stupid, and it looks, I don't know, I think it looks kind of cool. It sounds dumb, but it completely fits right in with Silver Age. And that's what I want to talk about. If you haven't read this issue, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you read the series. If you haven't read issue 1, go read issue 1. Go listen to Mark and Chad on Lantern Cast. Because Mark Waid, who wrote this with Tom Peyer, those two are doing a pretty pitch perfect Silver Age story. Barry Kitson is doing double duty as the penciler and the inker on this book. I love the art. I think the art's terrific. It's not quite Silver Age, but it's somewhere between like Silver Age and Denny O'Neil kind of artwork. But I mean, the character models, like Hal Jordan looks like Hal Jordan, and Barry looks like Barry. Like, the artwork, I think, is pitch perfect. Colors, Lovern Kindzierski, I think are spot on as well. There's some pages that flat out look like it's Silver Age pages, and I really, really appreciate it. Letterers by Ken Lopez. The lettering is fine. One of the things I do like is when Flash, and I don't read a lot of Flash, but as Flash is running around trying to take out hockey players, his sentence is split up into single words, and the single words follow Flash around the panel, which it was really fun, and it was trying to, it doesn't get confusing at all. You're able to read the sentences as they go. And so I really, really appreciated it from all standpoints, from writing to art to even the coloring and the letters and stuff. The editors, L.A. Williams and Peter Tomasi. Peter Tomasi, one of my favorite Green Lantern writers, did my favorite run of Green Lantern Corps that's around. He was around during just post-Recharge, just post Dave Gibbons, around the era of Jeff Johns. And I loved, Peter Tomasi, Patrick Gleason, just clicked. And they were putting out some of the best Green Lantern stuff ever. It's just tough because it came at the same time Jeff Johns was doing maybe the single best Green Lantern story of all time, which was From Rebirth to Blackest Night. Tomasi and Gleason were really sort of supporting the greatness that Jeff Johns was doing. Those two books, firing on all cylinders, were the best. So I could see this is pre-Tomasi writing Green Lantern Corps, editing this book. This feels like Tomasi could be was definitely a big part of this book, I believe, just based on this storyline. Highly recommend it. I thought it was great. I have really no notes on it, and I'm very much looking forward to checking out issue 3. And I'm going to pop up this media again, which is the rest of the calendar. So I think I've said what I need to say about this book. If you've already read it, then you know how great it is. If you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil too much. I just want to give you a taste. But yeah, next week is Dan over at Mosaic Comics. If you're not subscribed to Dan on YouTube, do it. Dan's great. I think of all the Lantern Show, I think he's the top, the YouTube. He has the most YouTube subscribers, and I don't know if I'll ever catch up to him. I'll try, but I don't think I will. Dan's great. One of the original hosts of the Lantern Cast, along with Jim Ford. Sorry, it's been years. It's been Chad and Mark for a while, but Jim Ford. And then after that, Emerald Echo, check them out. Donnie, who's been a guest on the show, he's part of Emerald Echo, and then Will, our buddy Will, for Green Lanterns podcast for issue 5, and rounding out with Myron and Phil over at the podcast OA. They're finishing up this Brave and the Bold series, which I am now fully excited for. I cannot wait to read the rest of this because I think it's a really good book. My Green Lantern Volume 3 is going to take a back seat while I read this. But join me tomorrow. Tim Sheridan's going to be on to talk about this issue these 6 issues of DC Pride that he sent me in the mail after we was on my show 3 months ago, and he's joining me. So Tim Sheridan will be right here at this very time talking about DC Pride and a little bit of Motu. I really pride myself in not talking about anything but Green Lantern, but he has a new Motu book coming out on Wednesday. I've read it. We've got to talk about it because I love the movie. I was 5 years old when Masters of the Universe and He-Man came out. I was a massive He-Man fan, and so we're going to talk about a little bit Masters of the Universe tomorrow as well. So join me for that, and then on Tuesday we'll be here to cover Green Lantern Corps 17 with Vactor, which I'm hoping, I don't know how, but I'm hoping it's as good as 16, because 16 was absolutely amazing. So I want to thank everybody for joining me in the chat. Chad, Dave, Pad, everybody else, and I'll catch you tomorrow on an all-new Lanterns Live, and so be sure to join me for that stream. Let's give Tim a big warm welcome tomorrow. So until then, beware my podcast. It's Lanterns Live. Bye.